Welcome to Main Street Live, a spotlight on the diversity of downtown Fort Dodge, where we interview business owners and leaders from the revitalized and exciting downtown area of Fort Dodge. Join the conversation on Facebook Live and on YouTube. And now, let's meet our featured guest in this week's edition of Main Street Live with our host, Executive Director, Chris Patrick.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, and we're at ShinyTop. Can you tell that's the way to start the day, right?
Shiny
With
Tops.
coffee or maybe beer. But today we're drinking coffee. So good morning. We are with Todd McCubbin and Nate McCubbin. So we won't look too carefully at your cup either, right?
No.
All right. So I am really glad that your business is in town. We can tell we're having a lot of fun this morning. I have to say this is one of the best meetings we've ever done. So very, very cool.
We're taking it very seriously, aren't we?
We are. You are
Yeah.
taking it very seriously.
Thank you.
So tell me about why you came downtown and how you got started.
Go ahead, Todd.
Go ahead, Nate.
Well, we really like the downtown area. We had a chance to take a building that, I don't know what, a lot of people know what this was before, but let's just say it wasn't the best reputation building in town.
Depends how old you. It was the Moose Lodge.
It was the Moose Lodge at one point, and then it turned into something else, and then we got it. So that middle one was pretty tough, and there was a lot of work that needed done, but we got the building for a good price.
Believe it or not, Nate classed up the joint.
I gave it a touch of class. All right. So yeah, we're glad to be downtown. We like the area. Downtown, over my lifetime and since I've been around, has been turning around for quite a few years, and I've really noticed it in the past few months with obviously you, Chris.
Oh, thank you.
You've done
Yes.
well, and
Very
just
well.
the city in general, really trying to make downtown viable again. And
I don't know if
think
you
they're doing a great
remember
job.
when we were young. We've lived here our whole lives.
Okay.
When we were young, you used to come downtown and you'd clothes shop down here. I mean, Diamonds was down here, and you'd do everything. It was kind of the hub. I remember when the trolley center opened, and it was so cool. And they had food in the basement. You know, you do all this other stuff and come up, and you know, you'd come down here and do all kinds of stuff. And then as Walmart continued to grow, and the mall and all that stuff, and it got bigger and bigger and better and better, people migrated out.
Of course.
And to see the migration back and to see how cool it's been to watch it grow. I mean, the building across the street, they just tuck pointed to see all that money go into that and make it that much prettier. And we've done this here, you know, and we'll talk a little bit later about the expansion next door and making that better and ShinyTop better and this whole side of the block. And Dave Madsen with Lifestyles and everything he's done, it's just been so cool to watch this whole
people are really
progression
investing in
and
downtown
change.
again. It's
Yeah.
Right. I think
great.
it's a collaboration.
It is.
And it's because of people like you making that decision to be downtown and to invest in your building. So talk to me about the title of your ShinyTop.
ShinyTop came along because we're obviously both beautifully bald-headed men.
You are.
Yeah, and we had a list of, I think it was a dozen names or so, and we started reading them off at a family around the mom's kitchen table. And when it came to ShinyTop Brewing, it kind of flowed off the tongue, and that's the one that our mom laughed at the absolute most.
She loved it.
She thought that was so cute and clever, and so well, that's it. That's end of discussion. That's what we're going with.
Very cool. And you actually
Yeah.
have a song that
We do.
a group actually made for you. too.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Shelley Botter, Rod Lehman, Joel Fritz recorded a song for us out at Junior's Motel, which is the recruiter studio out by Otho, with Kurt Kaufman. And yeah, they wrote it just for us. My name's in it a couple times, I believe. There's some clapping involved, and we have a blast with it.
Good.
So,
Clapping is good.
Yeah, we have a really good time.
Yeah.
So how long have you been brewing beer? Do you both brew beer, or is it just me?
I
Just this guy.
Our very first batch Todd helped with,
Okay.
and then he never helped again.
Oh.
This was 8 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, quite a while ago.
We started brewing because I talked about, I lived in Europe. I'm a veteran, lived in Europe for 3 years, and we'd have, German beer was just amazing.
Sure.
And I talked about how great a Hefeweizen would be, because you really can't buy a great Hefeweizen in Iowa. And we thought, we'll brew a Hefeweizen, and it was
So
terrible.
We went and bought like $500 worth of brewing equipment, which is pretty good. I mean, nothing like we have now, but it was for a home brew kit. That was pretty awesome. And we made that first beer, and it tasted so awful. Just
Wow.
just awful. Well, we didn't really look at any directions or read how to do it or we just kind of threw it
It
together.
said boil it this long and put this in here, and we just did it all. And
Yeah. The yeast packet said yeast between 58 and 75 degrees. I'm like, well, it's May in Iowa. My garage stays in between that.
Sure.
That was the wrong thing to do because they wanted at one temperature between that range for that long, not at varying temperatures.
Oh, okay.
So,
he learned this over time.
yeah. So my first batch was so off, but I just spent all this money on this brewing equipment, so I thought I'd get a book. So I brought Home Brewing for Dummies was my very first book, and I read it, and I'm like, oh, I did a whole lot of bad stuff on that first batch. I made another batch, and it was better. Not the best one yet, but I continued to read, get more books and more knowledge, and kept the, practicing.
Sure.
And there was a point where the beer was so good that people encouraged me to, like, you need to do something with this. So we started talking to the bank and looking for buildings, and
Great.
and now we're here today.
So how big is your brewing system? How many gallons or
It's
whatever?
a 3-barrel system, which is a little over 90 gallons.
Okay.
I get about 90 gallons a batch, which is pretty small. But we can do a lot of experimentation. We're not stuck with a bunch of one kind of beer. So at any given time, I have 10 beers on top.
Awesome.
Yep.
And you have cider.
We do have a cider.
For those of us who are gluten-free.
Yes,
Thank you very
yes,
much for
no
that.
problem. Well, that's why we got it to begin with. I'm not going to make a gluten-free beer because it's doesn't taste very good. So generally, it doesn't taste very
Right.
good. So the cider was the next obvious choice, and we're happy to have it.
Yeah, thank
And we
you.
have root beer too, which is really good. Not that we make it, but it's still a good root beer.
Very cool. So we are actually down on the east side of Central Avenue, if you haven't been down here, so just a block or so away from the library. And you are getting ready for an expansion.
We are. We're moving next door. So ShinyTop is going. I say it out loud here. Going to have food here in the next month or so. No, don't be in too much of a hurry. But we're getting bigger. We've leased the space next door. So we're going from a 2,000 square foot facility to almost 5,000 square feet. So we'll have more seating. We'll have more options for food. All that stuff's going to be great. What do we call it? Gourmet pizza or
Artisan pizza.
artisan pizza?
That was a fun texting message back
Yeah,
and forth
that
on
I'm
one.
not going to say what he called me when I said artisan pizza is a better name. And then
I said, that
appetizers.
sounds fancy in a not nice way.
Yeah.
Not so nice way.
Well, and we hired a young gentleman straight out of culinary school at Iowa Central. That's been a great resource for us. Actually works at the bakery at Creative Cakes and came with great references from his boss. And we said, well, let's do it. Let's bring him over. And so far he's been a painter for us, not a chef.
We're not quite ready to cook yet, so we wanted to make sure to keep him. So we hired him, and well, as long as we're going to pay, you might as well do some painting.
Right.
Kitchen
So
equipment's showing up this week, and we're scrubbing and getting all that stuff done. So hopefully soon. We'll keep you posted as soon as we can get some
Yep.
food in there.
Well, that sounds wonderful. And as a patron of ShinyTop, I always come on Thursday nights because you have great entertainment.
We do live music every Thursday.
Yeah, I love that.
7-ish to 9-ish. Sometimes they play longer.
Every Thursday night, no matter what.
No matter what. We even made Thanksgiving this last year, which
Oh
was
my gosh.
kind of a last-minute effort because our original guy canceled. I don't think he realized it was Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So we were frantically on the phone, and we got a hold of the Blue Ribbon Ramblers, Clint with the Blue Ribbon Ramblers, and we had a blast. They played till late that night. We had a fun night. A lot of people. Yeah. So I was happy that we kind of keep tradition alive.
Super. So who's coming up this week?
Jeremy Ober from Brewdor Republic does the solo set, but you never know who's going to show up with him. I mean, he's, a lot of the local musicians are all friends of each other, so whoever's up here is up here, and then I don't know, we'll usually set up an extra mic if you're a friend with them.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So do you have any specials or anything coming up this week?
Yes, tonight is $2 Tuesday, so $2 Pint Tuesday. So if you come in, we pick one beer that we want to sell for $2. And you get a pint of beer for $2, which is at least 50% off, if not more. Most of our beer runs between $4 and $6 per pint. That's been pretty popular the last few weeks. We just started that about a month ago. So we've had, last week was Vanilla Porter. The week before that was, I think Lynn there done that. So we've had a lot of really good beers on this. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You got to stop in and find out, but I'm sure you'll like it. Or we have other beers. Might not be $2, but it's still good beer.
Of course it is. So anything else you want to say before I wrap up today? Anything else going on?
I don't think so. We're having fun. We're moving along. We're moving forward. So it's a good time.
It's a good time. Yeah, we
Definitely.
have fun down here.
You definitely have fun down here. So come down to ShinyTop again on the east end of Central Avenue down by the library. Have a great time. Of course, Thursday's live music, and Nate is here to entertain you any day of the week.
I usually have a joke. Might not be funny, but at least it's a joke.
It's a joke.
So have a great Tuesday, and we will see you next week.
Awesome. Thank you.